Right, I'm going to do a revision lesson on doing all the shapes that you need for your upcoming test. Here we go. I've got a pentagon. I'm going to start out with a line length of, say, 25 millimeters. And you can then get that onto the screen. There it is. And I can now take my pair of compasses, set them to that line length of 25 millimeters. There it is. And you then draw a circle, which comes around like that. Okay, this is a construction line circle. Please don't make your construction lines as dark as I'm making them. Very lightly draw two circles like that. Take the pair of compasses, still set at the same radius. Place it in over there at the intersection of those two circles. Draw a circle coming around like that. Draw a construction line coming up over here, which is going to make a perpendicular bisector between those two. Okay, once you've got that, get your glasses on, and then you can take your pencil, place it at the intersection of those two circles over there, line it up with where that circle intersects with that perpendicular bisector, and draw a line going out over there. From the intersection of those two circles, going through that point where it bisects over there, where that perpendicular bisector goes through the top of that circle. Draw another line going out there. That will give you the 72-degree angle that you need for your pentagon side. There we go. And there we go. To finish it off, I need that top side, which needs to be the same length as all of these sides. My radius is still set to that, so I can do that. And I can do that, and if it's been done correctly, you should find that those two marks link up perfectly over there, and you'll have your pentagon done accurately. Mine is not that accurate because I'm rushing. All right, there we go. Okay, that's your pentagon done. The next thing that I asked you to do was to do a hexagon, and I gave you between the corners a length of 40. So I've got 40 over here, 40 millimeters. And I need to draw my hexagon from those two corners. I'm going to take a 60-degree set square, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my 60-degree set square, and I'm going to do that. I'm then going to draw a line going like that. Okay, what have I found? I found the center of that line over there. I can now take my pair of compasses, set it to that length over there, and I can draw a circle going around. What have I got? Well, I've got my point that I can draw a line going across like that. I can draw a 60-degree line going up like that. I can draw a 60-degree line going up like that. And I can draw a line going across at the top. And you can see that I have got all the lengths that I need for a perfect hexagon using my set square and my pair of compasses. Right, the next one I asked you to do was a hexagon where you've got 40 AF. 40 AF means 40 across the flats. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take a pair of compasses, and I know that half of 40 is 20. So, well, let's start out with that line of 40 just to get that idea. There is my line, and I'm going to measure off 40 on that. Measure off 40 on that. Let's just do that quickly. Measuring off there. There. So that little distance that I've got over there, that distance over there is 40. What am I going to do? I'm going to take my set square. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to bisect that line. All right, once I've got that bisector, I now set my pair of compasses to, well, that would be 20, wouldn't it? And I can now draw a circle going around like that. Now, this needs a hexagon, which is 40 across the flat. So I'm going to draw a line going over there, a line going over there. Note those are tangents to that circle. I then take my set square. I draw a tangent to the circle over there. I draw a tangent to the circle over there. I come over here. I draw a tangent to the circle over there. And I draw a tangent to the circle over there. There we go. There is the construction for a hexagon with 40 across the flats, 40 AF. Right, 40 AF across the flats. There's the flat sides. Right. After I've done that, the next one that I asked you to do was to do a octagon, okay? And I gave you, I think it was, what was it? 50 across the flats. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw a line. And that is going to be 50. Okay, I haven't measured it, but we're just going to pretend that that is 50 over there. I take my set square and I draw a diagonal line at 45 degrees. I draw a diagonal line from that corner. I then have, well, I've got a square, don't I? A nice little construction line square that I can draw over here. And once I've got that, I can take my pair of compasses, set it at the corner over there, extend it out to the center over there, and I can mark off a construction line going like that, mark off a construction line going like that, go to that corner, a construction line going like that, go to that corner over there, a construction line going like that, and at the end of the day, what have I got? I have got lines going across like that, like that. Probably do this darker in. There you go. There you go. And over here, you can see that I've got the 45-degree lines that I need over there, over there, over there, and over there. There we go. There's the octagon done. Okay, the last thing that I asked you to do was a little circle going around an equilateral triangle. Okay, so what we had, there's the circle. I gave you a diameter of that of, I think it was 40, okay? And I said to you, I want an equilateral triangle to be placed inside of that circle. So what do? We set our pair of compasses to a radius of 20. And I come over here and I draw a circle. And from that circle over there, from that circle center, let's just draw in some center lines quickly. Center lines going over there, and a center line going across here, long dash, short dash, long dash. Okay, what do? I'm going to take, first of all, I'm going to take a line coming down from the top over there. I'm going to take a line coming down from the top over there. It's an equilateral triangle, and there you go. You've got your triangle going around, going inside of that circle. Right, those are the shapes that you need. All right, so over here what we've got are two circles that need to be linked with an including arc, okay? It's an including arc. It's as though I'm hugging those two circles over there, and it's got a radius of 90. The two diameters that they've given you are 40 and it's 65 between the two. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to measure off accurately a distance. I'm just going to draw a little line over there and I'm going to measure that accurately of distance of 65 coming across here. Nick the page there, nick the page there, and I now can draw center lines for my circles. Always draw center lines when you are drawing circles. Center line going over there and a center line going across here. Right, once I've got those in place, I set my pair of compasses to a radius of 20 If you've got a circle stencil, you can use your circle stencil here as well. All right, there's the one circle. There's the other circle. Okay. Now this is quite easy in that you are including those two circles. So you're going to set your pair of compasses to a radius where you take that 90. Take 90. Okay. And what I would suggest you do is that you need to subtract 40 from that 90. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little arc. This arc that I've got over here is 90 millimeters long. Note where I put the pair of compasses at that part of the circle, at that circumference. I'm going to drop this line down over here. And what am I going to do? I'm going to take this radius, okay, that radius of 20. That was my radius of 90, and I'm going to subtract that 20. Note I'm subtracting the 20 by doing that. Once I've got that, I can now draw an arc. Go in over here. Note that I've subtracted the 20 from my 90 and draw an arc. Set my pair of compasses back to the 90. Set it back to the 90. I don't know whether you can see that. So I've set that back to 90. That distance from there to there was 90. I take that, place it in at that intersection, and I will have a perfect arc that links those two circles together. Right, once you've got that, the next one that you need to do is this one over here, where I have a circle with a diameter of 50 and a circle of a diameter of 40, that far apart from each other. Okay, you can see how I've marked the centers, and you need to draw those two circles in. So let's do that. I'm going to transfer the information over here. Let's start out with a center line over there, and I'm going to draw in a center line over here, and I'm going to set my pair of compasses to 40 millimeter radius of 20, drawing me a circle of 40. Oh, no, come on. Okay, there's my radius of 20, giving me a circle diameter of 40. I'm then going to measure across from that center. Let's draw a construction line out there, measure across 45. Measure across 45. Make that mark. Draw a line coming up over here. Construction line coming up over there. Measure off 65. Pop that in there. I'm going to draw a center line coming across over here. And I can now draw in my radius of 25, which is going to give me the diameter of 50. There's my diameter 50 over here. Okay. Right, once I've got that, it says that I've got a radius of 70, which is going to include this. Note I'm hugging that, so I'm including. And if I'm including, I'm going to be subtracting 70 from that 50. So I take my pair of compasses. I set them to 70. I come over here. And I mark off that 70 on that line that's dropped down there. I take it over here. What have I done? I've subtracted a radius of 25 over there, and I'm going to squeeze that in to that point over there. In other words, that's 70 minus the 25, and I'm going to draw a nice long arc over there. Don't be shy with that arc. Right. This one over here is it's excluding. It's as though I'm giving it a good slap. I'm excluding it, so I'm excluding that 40 millimeter diameter circle from that 70. So I take my pair of compasses, I set them to 70. When I'm excluding, I add, so I'm going to draw. There's my 70 millimeter radius over there. I push that back over there, and I'm adding the radius on. I'm adding the radius on, and I'm going to draw an arc going through over there. Once I've done that, I set my pair of compasses back to the 70 millimeters. There it is. Place it over there. And I should find that it includes that circle over there and excludes this circle over here. There it is.